Hello everyone, welcome to ProTalent and welcome to this headline of the day by ProTalent of 13th March. My dear students, this is going to be very useful to you for your CLAT. Let me start to talk about some of the important events or the news items. Like first, the inflation of India, which is retail inflation, is at 7-month low as food prices are declining. This is a very good news because in economy, if the inflation is manageable, it is within a particular range, it is good for a economy. For example, in India, we generally want our inflation is in the range of 4% plus or minus 2%. So that means the range has to be between 2% to 6%. They are saying that consumer price index. So this news is saying that consumer price index drops to 3.6% in February 2025. Wonderful news. Why? Because then this is definitely below 4%. It's a good number because this inflation is like the kind of cost of goods that is rising. Okay, so if you see compared to last year, overall the cost of inflation, the cost of goods have risen by some good number, but consumer price has gone down. Now if I talk about, you can say the entire idea of controlling this inflation, that is in the end of RBI. Yes or no? So RBI manages the supply of money. Okay, and with this supply of money, they are able to manage the inflation. Okay, so that work is given by government to RBI. So this is a new RBI governor. Yes or no? Please tell me his name in the comment box. So RBI generally provides bi-monthly monetary policy. Yes or no? So that means in a given year, there will be 6 times this monetary policy will come in. Monetary policy will try and focus on one goal, that is controlling inflation. How do they do that? There are various ways. One of the way is through repo rate. Repo rate and reverse repo rate. These are the two rates, okay, through which RBI controls the money supply to the various banks. So I'm sure you know that various banks have their accounts with RBI because RBI is a banker to the banks. So when RBI increases the repo rate, thereby RBI reduces the supply of money to the bank. That's a wonderful news. Yes or no? That's a wonderful concept. I'm sure you know. Apart from that, what does RBI do? RBI, you can say, try and control the money supply with the help of cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, bank rate. These are the various ways in which RBI controls the money supply. At the same time, RBI also carries out open market operations and also changes marginal standing facility rates. These are the various ways in which RBI utilizes this. So one by one, if I talk about repo rate is rate at which you can say the RBI lends money to various banks. If that is increased, okay, if that is increased, the banks will get the money at a higher rate. In return, bank will charge higher rate to their customers. In turn, you and me will get higher rate for our loans. So when we are taking loan from the bank, the rates are higher. Possibly we may not be interested in taking loans. So that's how they are trying to reduce the money supply, because at the end of the day, money supply directly connects with the inflation. More is the money, you can say less is the value of the goods, and thereby more is the inflation. Yes or no? So for example, if the cash reserve ratio is decreased, okay, if the CRR is decreased, there's a more money in the system, and with more money in the system, okay, inflation, you can say, may go up. So possibly the kind of number we are looking at right now, which is 3.6%, possibly because in the last so many years or last so many months, for at least some around, you can say 20 to 22 months, RBI has ensured their repo rate remain fixed. Okay, now slowly they started to reduce it. Okay, so we are going to wait and watch in the month of April what will happen. Whether they will decrease the, you can say, rate. I believe they will, you can say, decrease the rate. Okay, great. Another important information which is, you can say, of 13th March, which is about Pakistan train Jafar Express. Okay, that siege ended. Balochistan Freedom Army or Liberation Army had already captured this. If Pakistani army has freed these people, there were some people died, like soldiers died, and some of the civilians died. Okay, so that is how the entire scenario is. So remember, this is I have already covered this aspect. So Jafar Express went from the capital of Balochistan, Quetta, to Peshawar. In the middle of it, in the Bolan Pass, this train was, you can say, hijacked. Okay, the train was hijacked. Okay, in Pehro-Kunri, Gadalbar area, this was captured, and then Pakistani army helped him. Okay, so overall in Pakistan, how many provinces are there? There are 4 provinces: Balochistan, Sindh, Punjab, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The one of the largest province is Balochistan, and I'm sure you know that there is some place in Balochistan called Gwadar. Okay, from Gwadar to, you can say, some place in China called Kashgar city, a place called Kashgar city. Okay, this is what CPEC is getting developed. China Pakistan Economic Corridor. That is what they are developing, and Balochistan people are not happy about this CPEC, because this CPEC is not helping Balochistan people, and because it is giving more opportunity to the people who are outsiders. That is how this scenario is taking place. Mr. Modi visited Mauritius. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Mauritius. With Mauritius, we have love and hate relationship. Some year back, we had a lot of benefit to be provided to Mauritius. Okay, and then now we don't have a, you can say, good relationship. Sometimes good relationship. Okay, but primarily on a positive note, and we have a good relationship with Mauritius in today's time. Okay, Mauritius has one of the very important, you can say, connection with India. Large number of population in Mauritius, they are basically from Bihar, and thereby you can say they have an official language called Bhojpuri. Okay, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that we need free, open, secure, and safe Indian Ocean, and that is a common goal for India as well as Mauritius. Okay, so Mauritius National Day celebration was happening at Port Louis on, you can say, some around on 12th of, you can say, March. Okay, and this is Mauritius Prime Minister Mr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam, and with President, you can say, Dharambir Gokul. This is how the people are. Okay, so wonderful thing. Here you can say Narendra Modi provides a lot of benefit to Mauritius. Okay, so we are interested in a free, open, secure, and safe Indian Ocean. Mauritius got independent, you can say, somewhere around in, you can say, 1968, okay, from Britain. Britain was ruling on it. 1968 it got independence. Okay, and before that, in 1966, this entire group of archipelagos were, you can say, in the hand of British, and thereby Britain had given one of the island called Diego Garcia, which is the largest Chagos Island, a group of Chagos Island, that was, you can say, given to USA on the lease. So USA has established their navy there. Now Mauritius has been demanding kind of independence of Chagos Island to them, that is a kind of sovereignty on them. And the case went to ICJ, International Court of, you can say, Justice, where, you can say, UK said it is our right to govern Chagos Island, but ICJ says no, you don't have a right, and you have to give this back to, you can say, Mauritius. Okay, and now they had given this entire Chagos Islands to Mauritius, but Diego Garcia is still in the hands of USA. Okay, okay. Another important part with respect to tariff war, I'm sure you know there's a big trade war, big tariff war which is going on, and this is about aluminium and steel items. So President Trump imposed increased tariff of 25% on all steel and aluminum imports, plus hundreds of downstream products, prompting criticism from allies including Canada, European Union, Britain, Australia. That is how this scenario is. Look at the various sanctions being provided. US sanctions on Huawei to to cut China's technological advancement. Huawei is a technology marvel of China, but you can say there are some apprehensions about Huawei that they are taking a lot of data and transferring it to China. Russia ka gas supply is basically being controlled primarily because Russia has entered into war with Ukraine. So whatever is the supply they are providing to Europe and various other, you can say, countries, that has been cut. Recently, China's rare earth export has been controlled because they wanted to have a kind of dominance, and recently USA put a tariff on this scenario. Okay, I'm sure this is wonderful. Another important news coming from Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that care needed in government recruitment to keep public faith alive. I'm sure you know in last so many years in India there have been a lot of cases where in public you can say recruitment, that is government recruitment, there are a lot of you can say question papers have been leaked. There are a lot of malpractices taking place. So thereby varieties of the states have come up with various laws, as well as center has come up with a law. Another news is Gujarat court has been asked by the central government, that is the Ministry of Law. They have asked Gujarat court to serve US summons on Adani. So I'm sure you know Adani is in the some kind of, you can say, allegations. There were allegations by Hindenburg on Adani, and now the allegations are coming from, you can say, US Security and Exchange Commission. They have served summons to Adani that there are bribery cases against you, okay, and then that is the kind of, you can say, summon they are providing. Now, this summon has been issued by US Department. How can it be served in India? Then there is a convention called the Hague Convention on Services, popularly known as the Hague Service Convention. This Hague Service Convention was started in 1965. Okay, India is a signatory to that, and that is the idea is to streamline the entire process of serving legal documents across the boundaries. Okay, and that is the reason why you can say US chose that route, that is Hague Convention route, sent the letter to Indian Law Ministry. So he is the Law Minister in India. Please tell me the name of this person, okay, in the comment box. So this Law Ministry has asked the court to give summon to Mr. Adani. Okay. Another important news is Lok Sabha passes another new bill. What is the name of the bill? Is Oilfield Regulations and Development Amendment Bill 2025. This is an amendment bill. This is not a new bill. It is the old bill which has been amended. Number one, what is an amendment? Primarily the difference, primarily to change the or delink the mining operations as well as petroleum operations. Before this amendment, the mining and petroleum were linked. That means if you want license, you have to take license of both. Now the two things have been delinked. That's a wonderful thing. He is our, you can say, petroleum minister, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri. Okay. Then astronauts, that is you can say, Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams, who are stuck in International Space Station, okay, and now they are going to come back. Possibly they are going to come back on March 18th. Okay, so that is SpaceX Crew 10 have been launched. They have gone to this ISS. They have connected to ISS. They have entered into ISS, and now by 18th of March, Mr. Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams will be brought back. Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore went to ISS on Boeing Starliner spacecraft, and they got stuck because Starliner developed some kind of, you can say, defects. They couldn't come back, and they stayed there for more than 9 months. So we'll be very happy if they are coming back. Okay, wonderful. Then Bharti has tied up with Starlink. Bharti has tied up, that is Bharti as in Airtel. Airtel has tied up with Starlink to provide satellite internet services in India. So I'm sure you understand what is the meaning of satellite internet service. Internet to be provided directly through satellite. Currently, they are also provided through satellite, but those satellites are captured by certain towers, and in turn those towers will transmit those internet to you. Okay, but with this satellite internet, the internet will directly come to you. Okay, so Starlink is a SpaceX initiative to provide this internet constellation of more than 42,000 satellites. So far there are 12,000 satellites. Okay, so far there are 4,000 satellites. Target will be of 12,000, and slowly it will increase to 42,000 satellites, and thereby they'll be covering the entire Earth. Okay, so this is generally low Earth orbit satellites. They are available from 340 kilometer to some around 1200 kilometer altitude. We, as in India, BSNL has already started working on this particular front. Okay, great. So I hope this is comfortable for you. The headline of the day, a wonderful module for all of you. Okay, if you have any question or query, please put that into comment box. I will be more than happy to respond to all your queries and questions. Thank you and all the best.